Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. A couple of weeks ago, I sat down and shared with you all of my findings about this conservative gay cruise that took place recently and the absolute nightmare of its existence. And one of the only things we found out about that cruise, like one of the only things they shared, was that they were influencers who are going to be talking. Because what more could you want out of a cruise? And one of those influencers was this man named Rob Smith. He was one of the only people of color on the cruise of about 300 gay conservatives. And he makes conservative content, because of course he does. I believe he works for Turning Point USA, or at the very least he used to work for Turning Point USA. He has around 425,000 followers on TikTok, and I honestly, considering this is what I do for a living, I don't know how I've never heard of him before, but I'd never seen him before. I've never heard of this man before, and so I've never watched his content before. So I dedicated some time to going through a bunch of his content, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting. But I love talking about conservative gays because I love talking about hypocrisy. And he is such a massive hypocrite because he is a Black conservative gay man. And most of those things, you know, like it's half and half for going together. And his content is a lot of reaction content, and I get that it's weird to like react to someone reacting to something, but I am going to do it anyway. So I have to. I'm sorry, but I have to, and you're all gonna have to suffer with me. But before we suffer, I wanted to remind you that presently I am working with Makeship to bring you two wonderful, brilliant things this Pride Month, and that is this cute little rainbow kiwi plush that I love and adore so much. We even have matching glasses, so, you know, twinsies. And also this Be Your Own Rainbow Pride t-shirt. It's got, hold up, let me try turn around real quick. Can you see the design on the back, the little flowers on the collar? Can you hear me talking that I'm facing away from the microphone? I don't know if that worked or if that was extremely awkward for everyone as well as myself, but you know, I did it. Both this t-shirt and this plushie is only available until the end of June at makeship.com or the link in the description. So please do not miss out. Once this time ends, they will be gone forever. And I do have to sell a certain number in order for the production to go through. And I would love to meet that quota. So if you are able to and you want to support me and have these cute little things in your life, then please do check that out. I really do appreciate it. And while you're down there, since you're already there, you may as well hit like and subscribe because you know you want to. You know you want to come back for more. Now that I've said all of that, let's get into some content.
All right, the next time somebody asks how there could be gay Republicans, show them this.
Speaking of that, you are a gay Republican.
Yes,
Why?
because my politics are determined by my pocket, not my. I'm sorry. You know why gays should all be Republicans?
Why?
Because
So they can
we
live-
want less taxes so we can buy more Gucci.
All right, so that's obviously the iconic George Santos, aka Katara. But no, we love George Santos, and he's actually very honest and very real about exactly why nobody should be surprised that they're gay Republicans, and there are gay Republicans, and I'm going to take it a little bit further, because what a lot of people don't understand is that gay men are the highest earning minority group in America, all right? We are well educated, we make money, we spend it, and a lot of us are becoming Republicans because, surprise, surprise, we like to keep it.
Before I get into all that, I just think it's so funny when they prove one of our points without even realizing it. Gay men are the highest earning minority. So you're saying that male privilege is real? So you're saying that men get paid more. Cool, I got that. They get paid more than... Because being a gay man is not specific to a race or anything too, right? So like gay men, a combination of all like cultures and ethnicities that are all men, get paid more than any other minority group. They get paid more as a collective than like any other group of people of a different race or sexuality or anything. So, food for thought there, Mr. Rob Smith, of what you just said. That aside, thank you for confirming that being conservative is a selfish choice. You are literally exactly confirming the reasons we don't like you. This is the whole thing. This is why we don't like you and we get mad at you and we yell at you. Because you are selfish. Your politics are determined explicitly by what benefits you as an individual. Whereas my politics are determined by what is best for the greater good. What impacts me as an individual is not my top priority. What benefits the majority, that is my priority. What benefits the majority also benefits me, for starters. But even still, like, I don't understand why, like, my priority isn't that one day, maybe I can buy a house and I can retire by 70 and there are gonna be billionaires walking around and exploiting people for their labor and taking advantage of people. There are gonna be people, dying of hunger who don't have a safe place to live and have to like work paycheck to paycheck. But I get to buy a house and retire at 70. So that's what I'm gonna vote for. That's not my priority. I would rather pay more in taxes and have more people be able to have a quality life than to have the majority suffer while I do okay. Right? And even still, here's the thing, Mr. Rob Smith and all the other people who earn the same amount of money as you, when we are talking about increasing taxes and like welfare, it's not about taking more money from you. It's about taking more money from the billionaires. You are not a billionaire. I don't know why these people seem to think they're so important. It's not about you. When we talk about eating the rich, we're not talking about you. You earn, I don't know, maybe like, I have no idea how much this man earns, but a lot of these people who say this sort of shit earn like 6 figures, right? Like 100K, 200K, 300K, whatever. And sure, like you get to a point where that's like a decent amount of money, but you're still not the main problem, right? You're not the target here. I don't want to take all of your money. I want to take all of the like thousands of billionaires' money, the people with hundreds of millions of dollars. I want to take their money. They don't fucking need it. And you would benefit from that too. You would also benefit from that. Your taxes could be lowered and theirs could be raised. Anyway. It's so ridiculous. Basically, my politics are informed by what's best for the greater good. Yours are informed by selfishness and how much Gucci you can buy. And I think that you're a bad person. If that is your priority, if you are voting so that other people suffer so you can have a bit more Gucci in your life, you're a bad person. And I know the Gucci thing was a joke, but also like it kind of wasn't.
All right, this guy is on point about how Democrats just have no sense of humor.
Hey, are you a Republican?
Yeah, man. Why? What's up?
Okay, so I made this video making fun of you guys.
Oh, no.
What do you think?
Bro, you nailed it.
Wow. You think so?
Dude, that sums up my entire family. Like,
But hey, you know it's all in good fun though.
yeah,
right?
man, it's good to poke fun at ourselves.
Okay, excuse me, are you a Democrat?
Yes, I am. Why?
Okay, so I made this video making fun of you guys.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What?
Wow, are you fucking kidding me? What, so you support Trump? Is that it?
No, it was just a joke.
Oh, it's just a joke to you. So you think it's funny that there's a
No.
convicted felon as the president. That's funny to you? Really?
No, I was just...
You were just what? What?
Come on, you gotta laugh about it, right?
I fucking knew it, Evan. I knew you were another white guy on the internet with a superiority complex.
Okay, hold on. No, I'm a comedian, right? So it's my job to make fun of these things.
Well, I don't want to see content from a fascist and a guy who hates women, so you're officially blocked.
Oh my god, you're serious.
Have fun with that dictator you elected.
I wish the writing in this video was fictional, but unfortunately it's not. So let's just do a better job of being nicer to each other. And remember, it's a joke, not a dick, so don't take it so hard. Great.
Before he comments, I'm gonna comment because we're doing some sort of meta react thing. You know that people who, it's so funny when you see content and shit like this because it is like Republicans and conservatives make content like this being like liberals and leftists, they can't take a joke and it always goes like this. And then you have people on the other side making the same content about how conservatives can't take a joke. Bro, it's about where you exist. You are obviously a conservative. You're not a neutral party, so I feel like you're not in the space to be saying this because we are also saying the same shit over here. So, you know, maybe just pay attention. I'll get into it more in a second once we hear what our good old friend Rob Smith has to say.
That was hysterical. But you know what? Honestly, like, this creator is really on point about just how humorless Democrats really can be. They take things very seriously, particularly the hardcore Democrats and the hardcore liberals on social media, which is why comedy has died on the left. These people are not funny. Has Jimmy Kimmel told an actual joke in years?
I love sorry. I love being like, liberals and Democrats just aren't funny. When was the last time Jimmy Kimmel told a good joke? Why is that your example of a comedian, right? Like, that's your example of like of a like a left-leaning liberal comedian? I feel like I know what the problem is.
But the reality of the situation is that these people are not funny because not only can they not laugh at themselves, even when they create humor about Republicans, the humor is rooted in anger. And humor that's rooted in anger does not land. It's one of the reasons why Alec Baldwin's Trump impersonation was so terrible and it didn't land to become iconic, because you obviously knew that Alec Baldwin was this like literally limousine liberal that hated Trump with every fiber of his being, so he couldn't find the humor in satirizing him, right? So this is really more about the fact that Democrats have literally lost their entire sense of humor than it is about the fact that Republicans can just take a joke better. Because I gotta tell you, both sides of that are getting a little crazy, and I'm even starting to see some of this stuff seep into the Republican side, where people are like taking jokes way too seriously.
It's firstly, I find it so annoying that these people refer to everyone left of center as Democrats and liberals as though everyone left of center is the same thing. Firstly, why are we using the word Democrat to talk about just a political view? Like, this is, we're on the internet, bro. This isn't just about the US. If you're talking about like comedians and like people making fun of you and like the political agreements and alignments and whatever, like, this is not just a US thing. This is a global thing, unless you're specifically saying that people who vote Democrat in the US are the only people you're talking about, and people outside of the US who are like leftists and liberals and whatever, they're funny. It's just Americans that aren't funny. But I don't think that's what he means. I think that these people are just very US centric and only know they only know one word, and it's Democrat, and that's it. Liberal and leftist are not the same thing. And I feel like we need to stop having this conversation, and you need to stop using them interchangeably, because I don't want to sit here and defend liberals. I don't want to sit here and act as though we are the same thing, because a leftist and a liberal is not the same thing, but you are talking about it as though we are. But a lot of leftist humor is making fun of liberals as well as making fun of conservatives, and you know, but okay, anyway, that aside, as I said, this is all about where you exist on the internet. This is all about what content you are seeing, and the content you are seeing is content from conservatives. You are not seeing the other side of this. You are not seeing conservatives get upset with conservatives being made fun of, because you're not seeing conservatives being made fun of because you're only existing in a place where liberals and leftists are being made fun of. I get a lot of comedy stuff on my feed and on my For You page. Gianmarco Soresi in particular. And he makes a lot of jokes around politics, both his own and like leftism and liberalism and conservatism. Like, he makes a lot of political jokes, and they're fucking funny. They're funny because he does a good job of being funny. Yeah, because he's not insulting anyone. He's like insulting himself a little bit, and it's funny because he's not punching anyone down and just laughing at people for existing. And I see conservatives getting mad at it. I see conservatives getting mad at leftist and liberal humor all the fucking time. It's happening all the time. They cannot take a joke. You literally were here being like, it's not funny when someone did a Trump impersonation, because and it's like, okay, so you were mad about this humor yourself that you didn't get. So the difference is, as well, is like, I think that you can make good jokes about politics and people's differing opinions. Like, you can make jokes about people and stereotypes to a degree. It becomes unfunny when the joke is just, ha ha, you exist and I hate you. Right? That's just not funny. The problem is that your jokes aren't funny. If you were funny, maybe we wouldn't be mad. The problem is that your jokes are just harmful and not jokes. It's just like, lol, you're trans and should die. Like, that's not a joke. That's just you saying hurtful, harmful shit. Right? If you want people to laugh at your jokes and not be mad at you, maybe tell jokes and be funny instead of just being the worst. On learning to just tell jokes and be funny, he posted this.
All right, this woman hits the nail on the head when it comes to liberal hypocrisy.
If you support ICE, you're a fascist. You are a fascist, a racist, a bigot, and you would be the exact same person who would turn in Anne Frank. Hello, officer? Yeah, there's somebody who's outside my door who's not wearing a mask. I know. I don't think that they're vaccinated. No. And honestly, I'm really nervous because they want me to open the door, which is gonna put them inside of my 6-foot bubble. What do I do? No, you need to come get them. They can't be without a mask because of immunocompromised. No, you need to come pick them up. Why do we even pay you? You're supposed to be law enforcement. What are you doing? Come get them. Lock them up. Put them in camps.
So, like, you see what I mean? Like, he's sitting here being like, hee, this is so funny. But, like, it's not, though, because it missed the point entirely. It's like, the thing is with humor, the thing that makes it funny is when it's, like, actually based in reality. But this is, like, so over-exaggerated to the point where it does not even align with reality to a degree where it is amusing. Like, it's conflating two different arguments and trying to make it into a joke, being like, lol, see how hypocritical they are? Even when the 2 points are completely unrelated. But let's see what he has to say about it.
Right now, you have liberals telling you that you are some kind of fascist or some kind of like crazy person if you support ICE, if you support enforcing our border, if you support the fact that maybe America should just not be a dumping ground for the third world, right? And these are the same people in 2020 when the people that they wanted to be in charge were in charge. These people would use the full force of the federal government, all right, and literal institute like police crackdowns and government crackdowns because they were brainwashed into the COVID insanity. There was a kid in a skate park, all right, a public skate park in California, literally not around anybody, not bothering anybody. And somebody called the cops on him because you weren't supposed to be outside because, you know, apparently us all being inside forever is going to stop us from getting COVID. And I don't know how that worked out for the lib states. But they literally dumped sand in the skate park, all right? Because some Karen had called the cops on this kid. So, yeah, there were a bunch of hypocrites. And obviously, like I said, these people want the full force of the federal government when their ideology is in control.
So, yeah, these things aren't related. Mask mandates and ICE, not the same thing. Not the same thing. There are so many different reasons why they're so different. Firstly, sorry, my brain is all over the place. I've literally written this down, but he's made me angry, so I need a second. Yes, in California, they filled in the skate parks. That is not because someone called the cops on a lone skater. They filled in all the skate parks to stop skaters from gathering because they didn't want people gathering outdoors. It had nothing to do with an individual skater having the cops called on them. It's just something that they did. Just like here, they closed all the public toilets. They closed all the playgrounds. They closed all the drinking fountains. They closed off all the places where there were going to be large outdoor gatherings. I don't know what they did about skate parks here. Presumably something. No, the cops were not called on lone people. That is not something that happened. You are making that up for your own argument. That doesn't work. And that's why this falls flat, right? And all the people who are anti-law enforcement, anti-ICE have not called cops on people for not wearing masks. That's not something that was happening. People were not calling the cops for not wearing masks and not being vaccinated. That's a whole separate conversation. Not to mention also, there is a very big difference between people being like refused service and refused entry for not wearing a mask or not being vaccinated and someone being fucking detained and deported. Those are two very different things. Also, not wearing a mask, not being vaccinated, you were putting other people in danger. That is a selfish choice you have made. You are endangering other people. Being an immigrant existing somewhere, your life is being interrupted and uprooted. They are being hurt for no reason, right? This person is being hurt by law enforcement. This person is hurting other people. Yeah, that's a big difference. Also, another thing, I love the like buying into COVID brainwashing. COVID was a real thing. So many people died. So many people died. And they thought that staying inside forever was gonna stop COVID. Look how that worked out. It didn't, because people were still fucking going outside. Look at New Zealand. I was stuck inside in London for a year and a fucking half, just about, with a couple breaks in between. I was in lockdown while I opened Instagram and saw my friends going to fucking music festivals. They didn't have a single case of COVID for months. And it only came out when they opened travel up again and people did not do the testing right. And then it started spreading again because they realized they had to loosen it up because they couldn't stay closed forever. But if everyone else followed the same sort of protocol, it could have actually worked better, you know? They did make it work for a long time. Does work. It is effective. But people like you fuck shit up. It's not brainwashing. You all fell for the brainwashing. People fucking died. It was real. Anyway.
Would you vote for someone held civilly liable of forcefully penetrating a woman's vagina against her will? Raise your hand if yes. So all of you guys that didn't raise your hand, you guys are voting for a guy held civilly liable of forcefully penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will.
Can I prove it? Okay, I just want to say, the nature of this conversation, we should be assuming good intentions on both sides of the issue. Parker, your question is aimed to make us look like bad guys. That does not do good things for our country. That is why we are so divisive. That's why there are families that are dividing, because we're calling each other bad people, as opposed to just, oh, they have a different outlook on things. They have a different view on things. Maybe they have a different voting philosophy. Maybe for you don't want to vote for a convicted felon. But in our opinion, he's not actually a convicted felon.
He is actually a convicted felon. In our opinion, he's not a convicted felon. It's not an opinion. It's literally a fact. It's a fact. And what is your favorite man ever, Ben Shapiro, like to say? Facts don't care about your feelings. Whether you like it or not, Donald Trump is a convicted felon. That is a real, true fact. And your opinion does not change that.
And so we're going to vote for him. Or he's not actually guilty of that crime. But the point is, we can go back and forth accusing each other of you're a bad person or you're a bad person. That doesn't do anything for the conversation. It doesn't do anything for our viewers. Let's actually go back to the issues. Let's go back to policies instead of silly questions trying to make us seem like bad guys.
I just don't think it's a silly question to call you on your bullshit and see that no one raised their hands when they said, would you vote for a rapist? And then being like, okay, you fucking hypocrites because you all did. That's not a silly question. That is a very valid point. People are actively here being like, oh, I wouldn't vote for a rapist, and then voting for a rapist. Calling you out on your bullshit is a valid thing to be doing. I was told at the start of this that this guy was going to shut down the liberals and bring up this really good point, but he didn't actually do anything, and being like, let's go back to the policies, and then not actually giving any examples, just being like, we vote differently. We care about different things. I don't think that he was a felon, and I don't care. So I voted anyway. Let's go back to the policies, okay? Then go on. Tell me what you care about, if not this. Okay, let's see what Rob Smith has to say.
Things I call them the WWE. They're not designed to advance policy. They're not designed to get people to come together. What they're designed to do is they're designed to create battles, all right, so that people can become even more divided than ever, right? And so you saw that young man in the blue shirt, the Democrat, and you could just tell he just like couldn't wait. Like he was just so edgy. Like he just couldn't wait to get the Republicans. I'm gonna get you. It literally at this point, it doesn't do anything for anybody. Honestly, we are rapidly moving away from the Trump era. So I would say this, in our discourse in the United States of America, it is going to have to start being a little bit more intelligent and a lot more policy focused, because this stuff is really going out the window. I'm telling you guys, like, I've been here since the very beginning of all of that stuff. I'm really good at anticipating trends, and I am telling you, all of that stuff is on its way out.
I mean, he made some decent points in this, in which, like, yeah, a lot of this, like, just pitting each other against each other content is not very helpful. That is true. It is not super helpful, and it just isn't. And, you know, the Trump era coming to an end, we can all fucking hope. But he says and does some shit that is quite concerning when it comes to his the Trump era ending. And also there is still a couple years left on this, like 2.5 years left of Trump being in charge. So, you know, it's still got a little bit of time here for him to be doing stuff and making an impact, and people are still listening to him and following him and like supporting him. So he's still very relevant to the conversation. Just because he's not going to be voted for again, hopefully, doesn't mean that we should stop talking about him. And as much as I would love to have more policy focused intelligent conversations, because I think that that's obviously very important, I think that it's really hard to have those conversations with people who actively are like, yeah, I voted for a convicted felon because I don't think that he's a convicted felon. You know, like, how am I meant to have an intelligent conversation with someone like that? Here's the thing, right? My politics, as established in the first part of this video, is informed by empathy and compassion. I want what is best for everyone. I want what is going to help the most people. I care about like equity. I care about everyone being able to live their best lives. You don't give a fuck. You don't care about that. You've already told me you don't care about that. And the fact that you will vote unashamedly for a rapist, like, how am I meant to have an intelligent conversation with you? How am I meant to appeal to your better judgment when you don't have any? How am I meant to appeal to your compassion when you haven't shown any, right? Like, my argument and the reason I think that you should not vote for Trump and that you should move to being like a leftist is because I think you should care about people. You don't care about people. So the only thing really that there is to do is to shame you, because you care about yourself. You care about your own image. You care about how you are perceived. You care about your income. So that's one of the reasons as well, like, cancel culture is effective. Like, if I take away your source of income, maybe you'll reflect and realize you need to do something else, because that is the only thing you care about, is how you personally are impacted. If I shame you for voting for a rapist, maybe you can like experience that shame and that will help you come to some sort of conclusion. If you are not going to care about other people and how they are affected, the only way to get through is to hit you where it hurts and making it about you. How am I meant to talk about policies with someone who doesn't give a fuck about anyone else? It's hard to do. How am I meant to have an intelligent conversation with someone who thinks that them not paying taxes is more important than helping women who have been sexually abused? Like, if you think money is more important than that, how am I meant to have a conversation with you? I can't. This next one is another one about liberal hypocrisy, and it frustrates me so much. Like, this makes me so frustrated because these people are truly just so ignorant and don't understand anything, because they have no media literacy. They refuse to like actually think about things, and it's the most infuriating thing ever.
Yo, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. Let's go. The only thing that is more powerful than hate is love. So you're telling me that Trump kidnapped the communist dictator of Venezuela. Trump did not kill the Iranian regime leader. No, he didn't.
These people celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk because this was somebody that disagreed with them, okay? But yet and still, when Iran's supreme leader is captured, when Iran's leadership is killed, or when Maduro's captured, when these very bad people, okay, are captured and taken out by our administration, now these liberals have all of these emotions and all of these thoughts and prayers for them.
This this is another example of conservatives not being very funny, and the reason it's not very funny is because you didn't understand anything. Once again, you didn't understand anything. You took completely different issues and somehow thought that it was the same thing. So you're like, lol, look how stupid these people are because they have such opposing opinions and they think that Charlie Kirk dying was good, but are really upset that these bad people died, and that's so hypocritical. They're not even remotely the same thing. And I love when they accidentally point that out. Like, when pointing out being like, people were celebrating when Charlie Kirk was killed, but they were upset when our own administration killed these other people. Okay, but Charlie Kirk being killed was not an act of the government, for starters. That was not an act of a government. That was the act of an individual. That was a civilian who decided to do something. I love that they talk about this whole thing of being like, they all killed Charlie Kirk. It is everyone's fault. And it's like, it was an individual who did it. Looking at Charlie Kirk and everything he did and being like, they killed him because he just didn't agree with them, is really diminishing the impact of him and his work and people like him, because it wasn't just that he didn't agree, it's that he like traveled and dedicated his life to furthering the hatred of people. He went out of his way to like continue to help trans people feel unsafe. He went and like burned this fire and grew this fire that empowered young people to continue on with bigotry and hating people. It did a lot of harm. What he was doing in that line of work and spreading that message does a lot of harm. It's not just about disagreeing with people. It's about using your voice and spreading it in a way that is causing harm to people. And I didn't see anyone actively celebrating and throwing parties over Charlie Kirk's death. It was just a lot of people being like, he did kind of have it coming. It was people not being upset. And if there were people who are celebrating it and being happy about it, it was not a majority of people. And I also think that if you are hurt by someone, you have the right to be happy when they die, right? And that's where you're being hypocritical, because you're on the flip side being like, it's so sad that this man died, you know, he was a good guy, he just didn't agree, and then are celebrating these political leaders for dying and being like, they were bad people. They're obviously not the same thing, once again, because Charlie Kirk was not a political person. Like, he talked about politics, but he was a fucking podcaster. But you're comparing them as the same thing. So I'm going to throw that back at you and say that if I'm being a hypocrite, then you're being a hypocrite because you're doing the same thing on the other side, right? If you're going to be sad because someone was killed, you have to be sad that someone was killed. You can't just decide to be sad when it's someone who agrees with you. So there's your own fucking point right back at you. But also, the other reason why it's so different is because, again, Charlie Kirk was not an important person. The other people, the leader of Venezuela, the leader of Iran, were like, they are powerful people. Their deaths has a ripple effect. Their deaths have an impact. And the reason that they were targeted was not for the greater good of the people that they were harming. They did not kill the leader of Iran because they were like helping to liberate the people that he was hurting. It was so that the US could gain power and control over Iran. It was not for the good of the people. It was for power. It didn't fucking matter. None of it fucking mattered. It was all about power. Literally, when it happened, he said he was going to bomb Iran to the ground and like wipe it off the map. Like, obviously people aren't going to be fucking happy about that. Not to mention, it wasn't just like going in and killing one guy. In both of these situations, bombs were dropped. civilians were killed. This was not just a one person being impacted thing. This is a massive, massive thing. You can think and agree that, like, these were bad people. Sure. You know, people were being hurt because of them. There were horrible things that were taking place because of them. Yeah, that can be true, while also it being true that you shouldn't bomb civilians. You shouldn't go and create problems so that you can clean it up and claim to be the hero. The US going in and dropping bombs and making threats and wiping out power in order to be like, create civil unrest and then swoop in and be like, we're the heroes because we saved the day. That's not a good thing. I'm not on your side for that. That's just modern day colonization. Like, that's not a good thing. There is a difference in these two things. There are so many differences between these two things. You cannot make a statement and say that it's hypocritical, because I'm looking at this in the depth that it is. This is not just like this man died, this man died, this man, like it's so much more than this. It is about politics and the intention and the after effects and all the people who are impacted. This is one of the issues, right, of like Donald Trump being president. One of the many, many issues is that he was a real man made into president, right? He was a reality TV show, so he was not a politician. And it means that it's really taken away, I feel, from like the reality of politics. Like looking at Charlie Kirk as some massive political figure, even though he's literally just like a podcaster, but then simultaneously looking at like leaders elsewhere being killed and being like, oh, that's just a guy. Like none of those, no. Like yes, everyone is just a person, but the effects are very different. If you are like the leader of a country, the power you have and like the way you die, it makes an impact. It's not just like, oh, this bad person was killed, everybody celebrate, because it's so much more than that. It's not just, yay, bad person dead. It's like, now let's think about how this occurred, why it occurred, and what's about to fucking happen. It's such a big thing, and you can't just turn it into this like small thing and be like, yay, bad person dead. Why are you all so upset about the fact this bad person is dead? Like you can acknowledge he was a bad person and also acknowledge that it's fucked up at the same time. Right. There's depth, there's layers, and these people don't seem to understand that things have layers, and it's really fucking annoying. This has been Rob Smith. He makes a lot of content that's just like this. He sits and he's like, liberals aren't funny, conservatives are. So let's look at how conservatives are funny, and it's just the least funny shit ever. Yeah. So Rob Smith, really fucking just frustrating, annoying hypocrite. And that's really the best way to describe him. I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know if you want me to do another like pick me gay, conservative gay video where it's not just Rob Smith going back over some of our old favorites like good old Evan or whatever his name is and all the other classic conservative gays that exist on TikTok, because I always have fun with those. So if you want to see one of those, please do let me know, or anything else that you want to see from me. While you're down there, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, buy my plushie, buy my t-shirt, all that good stuff. And yeah, a huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons: Eden, Amelia, Rain Remaining, Mossy Moose, Bingo Bango, Who Ate My Mango, Kiarum, Bug Loves Cats, Kojo, The Beebs, Tess, Bree, Chastity, Beckett, Prismatic Petey, Sushi Kawaii, Phil the Duck, River, Queen Glimmer, Ella, Mr. Noodle, Radsack, Knitting Menace, Chris, Ellie, Ikazel, Alexis, and Nevea. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. When you close your eyes, you replay